Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. It's Cassandra here, and today we have a long-awaited but also very hyped up review for a book that's been circulating all over the place. And as you guys can tell, it is the Sanatorium, but by Sarah Pearse, spelled a little bit differently. So I've seen this book all over the place, and I've seen it in two versions. I've seen the UK version, which is this one. I have a hardcover with the beautiful yellow pages inside. So I've seen this in this way, which the British side of the book review was more of like a thriller mystery kind of thing. And then there was the American cover that was more of like a horror based. So I didn't know what I was getting myself into. And I must say that as soon as I seen her in Tesco's, I was like, I need her. So it was an add-on to my April TBR, if you guys seen my latest video. I wasn't expecting to read it this month because I couldn't see it. I didn't know if I wanted to order it online, just wanted to go and pick it up. Went shopping, picked it up. With all that being said, the book is set... I can't speak today. The book is set in kind of like Swiss mountains, and as you can tell on the little picture, it's like a massive resort that's a hotel of this very popular guy. He has several hotels, but back in the day, it used to be a sanatorium. What they specialized in, it was just like fresh air therapy, and then the natural sunlight would help, and obviously the fresh air in the mountains. So we begin by someone going missing, which later on we find out that he was one of the architects or one of the builders that were working on actually opening the hotel, because as the opening was happening, there was a lot of people that were against it. We don't really know why. So we follow this story of Erin, I think her name is. Alice, Erin, I don't know, the main lady who is actually a detective, and she's currently not suspended, but she's on like a longer leave, and she's going to see her brother who got engaged, and his fiance, Lauren, I don't know, she works in the hotel. Actually, she used to be friends with our main character, which is the detective. So we go on this amazing adventure, and it was so gripping. It just felt like every chapter I tried to read, and that is another good thing. If you guys are not very readers that like to read a lot, the chapters are quite short, so it's easy to get in and out. And you're just one more chapter, and that one more chapter never ends, okay? You forever go and go and go. With that being said, so we follow the story and the family dynamic. We know that something happened in the past between the brother and the sister. We know that there's another brother that was there and he passed away. The main character, who is the detective, I feel like she had some demons she had to fight on her own, and what happens is they are in this resort and the weather gets really, really bad, but because they're in the middle of nowhere, there is avalanche and they're basically stranded. They're supposed to take the last bus, but actually it happened, the avalanche happened, so they can't get kind of out of the resort. And with that being said, they are now stuck in, there's like 40 something people, it's majority of staff, couple of just people that came in to visit. So we are just literally locked in. There's no one else. It's in the middle of nowhere. It's snowing, like 2 meters of snow supposed to come. And now we have people going missing. And we get to go on this adventure. We get to peek into what happened in the past, and we get to peek into what's happening right now. And it's not like the narrator it's unresponsible. It just kind of seems like the detective, she has one lead, and then we have another lead, and then there's lies, and there's so many layers. I can promise you, and as you guys going to be able to see my actual reading vlog, that I didn't know who was guilty till the last minute. I had inklings, but it was just till the last minute. It kept me on my toes, and I was trying to like figure out what's happening, because there's more than one layer to more than one people that are missing. This story was brought in from like what was happening in the sanatorium in like 1920s. And the one thing that I didn't like, I don't want to spoil, so if you guys keep on going, and at the end of my reading vlog, I will tell you what I basically didn't really like. That was the one thing, but then I finished reading, so I had another opinion. So you will see how that goes. I'm trying not to spoil for people that really wants to read it. And with that being said, the story was so freaking gripping. I'm giving it 4.5 stars, which is one of the highest ratings, to be honest. Seems like April is the highest rating month for me, because all the other books, I think, maybe had like one a month that was like a 4-star. This month already had 2, that one being second, and I had a 5-star as well. So really, really excited. So I don't know. I want to say that that's her first book, but I'm not sure. I must say that I was really excited, and to be honest, I would love like a spin-off of actually what was happening in the past, because they were describing like those pictures, you know, because the sanatorium, they kept certain pieces and bits and things that were left there to like kind of showcase in the now new hotel, new resort, of what happened back in the day without showing the gruesome parts. And I wish maybe if she did another book and like going to the inside of what happened and having like all the creepy things, I feel like that would have been awesome as well. I'm giving the book 4.5 stars and absolutely loved it. I think Sarah is going to be one of my favorite authors. Like I said, I usually don't pay attention, and that's completely on my part, to if a author is female or male. I just read the book a lot of the time for the hype, or because the cover is pretty, or because someone told me to read. But actually, I'll be keeping my eyes peeled for anything else that she releases, and I'll be more than happy to, I might stalk her a little, see if there's anything else that I can read and tell you what I think. But yeah, with all that being said, if you guys want to see the entire journey that I've had, then just keep on going. Today, we're going to start our little reading vlog for the Sanatorium. I've seen this all over the place, and I just thought I have to give it a go. And I think I will do this every then and a while when there's a book that's super, super popular around the people and, you know, that I follow. I'll give it a go. I personally picked my copy from Tesco's. I know that Asda had it here in England as well. We are still in lockdown, so I picked it up last week, I think. All I know is that it's in kind of like the mountains. It's like a hotel resort kind of thing, and something goes down. This is as much as I know about this book. You obviously would have seen the little synopsis that I gave you after I've already read it. So really excited. Today is Wednesday. I do have Thursday, Friday doing a lot of coursework, but I'm hoping that I can get a good chunk today and I can get some over the weekend. So we will see. The book has 300 something pages. It's quite a big writing, so I hope it won't take me too long. I could, in theory, really buckle up and try to do it in one sitting, but we will see how good it is. I'll try to check you in either every 50 pages or every time something good is happening, simply because I feel like in my last reading vlog I've learned that I haven't been very consistent, versus if I do every 50 pages I feel like I will be able to then, oh, something is happening, that part is really not that good going. So that is my kind of plan. So yeah, let's get it. I have no idea what's happening. We know that the Sanatorium, which is a new hotel, is basically like in the middle of nowhere. There's some dodgy streets to get into. It's like on almost a cliff rides or whatever. So the first one, it's almost like someone goes missing in 2015, just like snatched in front of their car. So we have a perspective of Ellie, I think her name is Ellen. So we have a perspective of hers and her husband or boyfriend go in to meet her brother at his engagement party to like a friend that she known since they were little, and she works for the hotel. So someone, I think, passed away, someone called Sam, and something changed in her. Like Ellen is really like an anxious person, I would say, and there's nothing wrong with that, but here she's like hyperventilating on her way. She's very like in her head, kind of appears to be. And then we had a side view of like this housekeeper, and she gets snatched like off the street from outside of the hotel. So that's all I'm getting right now. Don't know much more, but we will see how it goes from now on. I'm only like 40 something pages in, but I thought I will check with you guys and now. And yeah, we will see how it goes. From it seems like the brother's fiance, what's her name? Her name is, we don't know. Isaac is the brother's name. That's all I know. Lore? I think her name is Lore. So I think Lore and Elaine have been friends in the past, like when they were little, before Sam died, whoever Sam is. I know that her mom has passed away as well.
and she cared about her before. But I think she used to come around to the hotel when it was still a sanatorium, because she says that this place is making her feel funny, but she doesn't want to tell Will, who is her like boyfriend, about what happened. So a little dodgy. I just don't know why she's lying. And if you have such an anxiety and just like, it's easier to share. Why are you lying to him? And he says, oh, also she used to be a detective. So don't know much more. Let's keep going. So we have our main girl, and they had a couple of drinks, and they go back to their room, and she's looking out the window at the balcony. She can see someone coming out down. And so she's like trying to peer, who is it? Who is it? Turns out that that's actually the girl, the fiance of her brother. She has like a bruise, well, bloody nose, a cut on her chin, and she's like, what is happening? The next morning she goes down to breakfast, and they're seeing her brother, and he goes, well, she's missing. I don't know where she is. She's just missing. Exciting. We had a guy that went into the mountains to go explore, I guess, and he sees a little bracelet, and so he goes down, tries to pick it up, and what happens is he like starts digging in, and is attached to an arm of the guy that disappeared in first few pages. I think his name was Daniel or something like that, and he was the guy, he was the architect. So now we have police coming over, and Isaac and Elaine, whatever her name is, they're just having a conversation, and her as a cop, she's just like questioning in a certain way, and then she finds blood on the carpet, and he was like, oh no, she probably cut herself a couple of days ago. I remember I had to get her a plaster. And she's like, he's hiding something. I know what he's capable of because he's done it before. So far, everyone is suspicious. Like, and the maid. So we have like 3 different perspectives going on right now. So the maid was kidnapped, and she's like, just calm down, just try to listen to like the area and what's happening. And they like have this mask, they like untie her eyes and the gag, and like they have a gas mask for her to put it on, because that's what they all wear, after they showed her a picture of someone being like mutilated, and she's like, they know they're here for revenge. I don't know. It's getting really good. I'm like 90 pages in. The beginning was a little slow because obviously we have to get introduced to everyone, and it's kind of hard to grasp what's happening, but now it's getting better. So let's continue.
For once, I'm standing in my video, which is super, super weird. I just wanted to pop in and tell you guys what's happening. So, I'm about 215 pages in, and I think I spoiled myself. I've watched someone do a review on it. For some reason, I thought that it's supposed to be like a thriller, but there's rumors. Also, like the American version looks so much more horror-like than this one. But so in a past one, I don't remember how far I got to, you guys. Basically, now we've had the fiance, the female, Lauren, whatever her name is, she is missing. And then the maid that was missing is actually being found in the pool, but we have no footage on who pushed her into the pool, and she was like tied, and there was like this little like anchor going down basically. So we know that Elaine or whatever the main character's name is, she has been pushed into the pool and watched from the changing rooms. As we found the dead body, we get to actually see the CCTV. There we go. And she can tell that it was the brother's fiance. She also is very suspicious of her brother about the disappearance, because the brother, apparently she thinks that he killed their younger brother called Sam. So she thinks that he is capable of doing such a thing. So my thinking is, what is happening next kind of thing? We are now, she got like this tracker friend to decode some files, and it turns out that the owner of the whole hotel actually had an affair with the missing fiance, who was already basically cheating on her fiance at the time, which is really, really weird. And she was the one to send him like threatening notes, but also he had some sort of situationship with the maid that's found dead. So they are now, it kind of seems like they think is the missing fiance that did it. And I don't know. I don't think that that's what it is. I also feel like I really, really spoiled myself because I watched someone's wrap up and they described the book as a supposed, there's supposed to be a horror and that they didn't like it, and the detective, which is the main character, isn't very smart. And I see your guys' point with this, but also I really wanted to like it because I was so hyped up and I've heard such a good reviews, and now I heard one that was like a little ugh. So now I'm picking on every flaw that she has. So I don't know. I really do not know what to think. I'm enjoying it. Like I said, I had a training session yesterday and then I was doing housework and stuff like that. So I am about halfway through. I've done some of my essay writing, so I really want to buckle up, sit down and read. I also have to go shopping later on. So I might sit down now and do like an hour of reading just to see where I get to. And I've been reading it in the evening and it's been awesome. So I'm gonna go, I'm having coffee and cheesecake, and then we will go and continue.
The detective like go through CCTV and stuff like that. So she goes, confronts her brother. She goes like, well, listen, maybe you don't know her as well as you think that you did. Blah blah blah. She wakes up the next morning at like 6 a.m. She gets a text from Laurel, whatever her name is, Lauren, whatever, from the missing fiance, and it's like, meet me in a penthouse at 9 a.m. So she goes in and she's walking around and it's very eerie. She's like, I can feel like someone is looking at me. And then she goes around the corner and she finds a dead body. She went there on her own. She didn't tell anything to anyone. I feel like it's gonna get her in trouble because like she is now going to be like entangled in the investigation because she went off on her own. So they found, oh, can I pop you here? So we had the body being found of the female fiance, and her throat was slashed and stuff like that. And she was like, well, it seems like the same thing also. Erin, whatever, the main girl's, the detective, she was assaulted, like she was jumped with someone had a mask on and they were trying to pull her, but Will, which is her husband or boyfriend, he like stepped in out of the elevator and kind of saved her, and so they were all worried about her. We still don't know who did it, and now she's kind of starting to connect the dots that it wasn't about someone within the hotel, but it has something to do with the sanatorium that was there back in the day, because she found like this USB cable. I'm just watching because I have tiny little birds in the tree outside of my house, and it's so pretty because that's all I wanted the entire winter. It's like wake up to the birds. That's so adorable. They're so sweet. Anyways, because she was trying to make connections, the detective tried to make connections between, I can't stop staring. That's so pretty. Tries to make connections between someone like relationships or maybe someone she had arguments with, but it actually all goes down to she found like those bracelets with different numbers, and some files on the USB which were from like a mental hospital in Germany. And when she like called him and asked, she was just like, I just want to know if that means anything to you. She's like, yeah, it's actually someone's like a number, like a patient number, but actually their data has been removed, so has to be an accident, just brushed it off. But she's like, well, I can't call them about every single one, but I feel like there's a connection. So now they're finally making a connection that is not just within the hotel, which obviously we know this because the name of the book is the Sanatorium, so I would have assumed that that's what it would have been about. But I get it if you were in that situation of like the owner and like other employee had a situationship with him. I get it that that's how you may think that it's going. Sorry guys, I literally woke up like an hour ago with a pounding headache. It's starting to like ease. I took some painkillers and an empty stomach, which I don't think is going to be a great idea for me, but so I'm just taking it easy this morning. I was going to do some yoga like first thing in the morning and then get on my essay, but I will just take it nice and easy, read a little bit, do some yoga, like just start a couple of hours later, and see how it goes. I also have to go to my work to kind of get it ready for Monday. So exciting times. And my hair is just wild today, but we're just gonna let it be. So yeah, that's what's happening. I think I have about yay much to go, like maybe about 100 pages. So ideally, I would finish that today. And I really don't know what I want to read next because I feel like I've read like a thriller after a thriller, which I feel like maybe I compared. So I do have a horror book or I want to read a memoir. So we will see. But yeah, with that being said, I'm gonna try to drink my tea, read a couple of pages, make my breakfast, finish it probably, and then do some yoga. So let's go. So I have few issues. One, Elaine, whatever her name is, the detective, she decided to walk outside knowing that literally the avalanche supposed to arrive like that day within the hours. She can hear something happening, but she still goes to take pictures. Okay, fine. Cecile, I think her name is, which is the sister of the owner. And she seems very suspicious. She is like protecting her brother kind of thing, but she also says, oh, is it really necessary to look for her phone? Can you see where she is? Then she goes, do you really think you should go on your own? Let me talk to, what's his name? The owner's Lucas? No, I don't think it's the name. Yeah, Lucas. Let me talk to him. He doesn't think it's okay for you to go on your own, to put yourself in a vulnerable position. Now she is giving me a creepy vibes. So yeah, that's kind of where we are right now. I do think that considering that the police officers told her that she's supposed to be doing everything in a kind of way of make sure that no one is alone, that everyone is together. She likes to wander on her own instead of taking like one of the security guards from the hotel or, you know, like another manager. Like be my shadow at all times, so it's not her significant other or her brother because they could have her own back. Just take someone who is like completely alien to her and be like a male that she is with him. And I don't mean it in like a degrading way, but if she is attacked and there's more than one person, like taking a tiny little female, yes, she might make some sound, but she's not going to fight off someone who dragged a sedated body without any struggle. So she needs someone who is quite strong to help her in case of emergencies. So I just think as a detective, don't think that's the smartest thing to do. But yeah, she just doesn't seem like everything is fine with her. But yeah, let's keep going. Even though everyone was like, don't go, don't do it on your own. Also, the owners found out that she is suspended from her job. And with that being said, she still goes and she's like, yeah, I'm going to find her. Like, I will go. So the boyfriend goes and says, well, I'm going to go with you, which again, very selfish of her to say yes, because if something will happen, you're putting like your loved one in danger, which I couldn't do it. As I was reading, I was like, I could not put my boyfriend through this, even if it's my job to put my life in danger. Like, that's why I said get someone who you don't care because you're, hold on. I feel like when you're with someone in like a serious situation that you're emotionally attached to, I feel like then your perception and your actions are driven by the feelings that you have towards that person, that being your family member, your loved one, anything like that. So your judgment is like clouded. With that being said, also I feel like you guys are a little clouded. I don't know what's happening. So with that being said, she goes in and Margot, I think that was the lady that was missing, turns out to not be tied up and she's trying to like kill the detective, but the boyfriend jumps in her place because there's no electricity for some reason, like no lights, and she stabs him in his stomach. She actually misses all the vital organs, and so she's in a room with him. Like there's some nurse that is currently in a hotel. So she stitches him up and she goes like, we really need to get him to a hospital. He's fine, but we don't want it to get infected. And then she's like, oh, it's my fault. And she's blaming herself. She's blaming herself and blaming herself. And then she goes and has an argument with Isaac, which is the brother. She's like, oh, you killed our younger brother, Sam. And he's like, let's not get into this. And actually turns out that she was there when it happened and she blacked out. She basically panicked and froze, so she couldn't help him, even though there was nothing to do, because as he hit his head, it was a fatal shot straight away. And everyone else knew, so like her mom and everyone else knew that it was her fault, but she like just blocked those memories in her head. But obviously something has to be do with her subconscious, that she has like the hero syndrome kind of thing. So kind of predictable, I'm not gonna lie, kind of predictable, but considering she's quite annoying, I'm kind of happy that someone put her in her place. I am now 317 pages in, so we have less than 100 pages to go. My headache is getting better. It's about 10 a.m. I just had breakfast. I just had breakfast. I feel like I should make some coffee maybe, but I just don't fancy any yet. Maybe have some pre-workout or something like that. I have a couple of jobs to do, and then, like I said, I'm going to go and take care of the gym. But a few more pages in, and let's see how it goes. It's her and the owner. They go down. She like kind of puts it together. Then that lady that was now missing, that stopped her boyfriend, had like this gray nail polish, and she can see like specks on the floor. There is a secret door in the floor. So she goes down. It turns out that the lady is dead. Lucas, which is the owner, runs away and tries to lock her in. Her brother allows her to escape because she texted him because there somehow was still signal. So she goes up. She confronts his sister, Lucas' sister, which is the owner's sister, to say that, oh, it's probably him, blah, blah, blah. They find a mask. Well, actually, it turns out that it is the sister that did it. And she did it because of Daniel, who was the guy that first went missing, that was the best friend of the owner. Turns out that he had sexually assaulted her when she was 16 and he was 18, and she felt resentment towards her brother that he didn't do anything and that he lied to the parents when he was asked if anything has happened before. Then she blamed him for the marriage breaking up because she had an abortion, so she couldn't have babies afterwards. And she now says, I'm going to tell you the story. And I have so many opinions about this. I just don't understand how it can go from like the hotel drama to the history. I'm hoping they're going to touch upon the history, because I feel like, in my personal opinion, I think it would have been better if they actually did go with something to do with the history than just like a very using the history for very selfish reasons. Like if it was someone's great granddaughter or something like that, then fair enough, like they are there for revenge and it makes sense in my head. But someone using those victims and those people that died there as just like a cover-up, I just feel like so wrong. I mean, putting the past of that she's killing people for her selfish thing, and I don't consider this wrong, but I consider the fact that she's using the people that died before as a cover-up, I find it wrong. A little twisted in my, in my system, but yeah. So I have probably like less than 50 pages left, so let's keep going.
So we are now done. So she goes and tells us, like I said, her brother seen when she was being sexually assaulted by Daniel, the best friend that got murdered. She was the one that murdered him. And she says that it happens to females all the time. And the reason why all the women were tortured actually in a sanatorium was because they were in the first place sent to the mental institution by their husbands, uncles, dads, whatever. And the females didn't have power. So she wanted to take back her power. Which I find it really, really, really confusing, because she killed 3 women. So kind of like little annoying. And I wish we went a little bit more into the actual history. Like I said in my review, that I wish we actually had either a spin-off or something like that to actually go into the depth of what happened. I feel like it would have been such an awesome horror gruesome part. That's just my crazy mind, that's what I would like to see. I must say, book is 4.5 stars. I think it was what I liked. I had like a 1% inkling when we were like in the beginning that I was like, it's going to be the manager. But then I was like, oh, maybe it's the brother, or maybe it is actually her fiance, and then no, it has to be the owner. And then I was like, no, there has to be like a cult of like people around. So I must admit that it kept me on my toes till the last second, which I really, really enjoy about books, because I hate when it's so predictable. When you go in and you're reading, you're like, I know, like I know. Or if they're like, oh, it seems like the narrator is not the one, but at the end of the day, it is him, and you're like, that was way too easy. It kind of like loses the whole story. Here, I was kept on my toes till the end. I think the book was so well written, because it was like, just keep on going. Considering that the book is almost 400 pages, it was a quick read. So yeah, I absolutely enjoyed it, and yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed. Let me know what you think if you read it down below. So I hope you enjoyed, and until the next, go back. And that's it. I hope you guys enjoyed, and until the next time, I'll talk to you guys soon. Bye.